Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's we'll be reviewing the new Kia K4. I've been living with this for the last week, so I'm going to let you guys know whether or not it is actually worth buying one of these K4s. Before we get into this video, as always, link to my car buying guide. Let's get into it. Under the hood, we have a 2-liter 4-cylinder that goes through a CVT, or they call it an IVT. Anyways, 2939, that's the fuel economy around town, and then on the highway, power output's 147 horsepower, and then 132 pound-feet of torque. Before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention if you're going to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So I think the style of the K4 is really cool. The hood, pretty simplistic with the design. You do have a couple of body lines. The headlights, they absolutely nailed it, especially with the orange. I think it looks great. You can see this trim piece that goes across the front, and notice the grill's all blacked out. And yeah, putting it all together, cool look. Tire wheel setup is 235 by 40 by 18. And you guys can see here, we've got the silver with the darker gray. And then notice the fender flare has been painted black. You can see the rest of the trim there along the side. Blacked out mirror capping. Look at the silver stem. More silver trim at the bottom of the windows. And there's a side profile. Now this leads us to the key fob. We got the Kia logo. We have our lock and unlock function, opening for the trunk, remote start there on the other side. We'll hold that down for a second. Then I'll pop it open. Now it doesn't pop open all the way. You do have to do the rest of the work yourself, but look how spacious this is. Again, this is a Corolla competitor. You got the tabs thrown on the seats, and then the trunk itself pretty straightforward with that. Cool taillight design that arcs across, and there's the rest of the rear. Now popping inside, you got the door handle up top. We've got some nice soft touch there at the bottom. And look at these seats. Pretty cool looking overall. Quickly pop in. Legroom back here. It's good. Yeah, my shoes are dirty. We got some USB ports. Headroom back here is good as well. This leads us up front where, again, you got the soft touch here, all of our window controls, mirror adjustment setup, heated and cooled seats, memory seats, blind spot monitoring with the mirrors, GT line there in the seat, again perforated trim all down the center, power adjustments on the side. You can see the parking brake there for the stability control. Steering wheel is manually adjustable. So taking a look at the steering wheel, you can see two-tone design looks really cool. I like the center here with the airbag cover. Drive mode select there at the bottom. Practical controls here on the front, including for your adaptive cruise control, lane centering. You've got your volume voice command controls, paddle shifters there on the back, and then you can see the regular stocks here too. Digital gauge cluster here in the center, which we can use to scroll through and see different bits of info on systems within the car. You can see the MPG there, for example. And the little drive mode stuff will pop up. It does kind of change depending on the drive mode you go into. Backup camera in reverse. Trajectory lines turn with the steering wheel. Pretty good resolution overall. And you'll notice the climate tab right next to it. It's always accessible. It is part of the touchscreen. The touchscreen itself is quick to respond. Everything's pretty user-friendly with that, and it's a giant unit together. Down below, you've got physical buttons for the screen up above. You got your climate controls, and then you've got all of our little USBs and everything. Phone charging pad. Shifter here for the IVT. Got your auto hold there with your camera button. Little over-engineered cup holder setup, which is pretty cool. Nice trim on the center console. And then more nice trim across the dash. I mean, definitely feels like a entry-level luxury car in here. And by the way, the passenger has heated and cooled seats too. Regular rear view mirror, and then we do have a sunroof. So with the window sticker here, it'll go down. $28,345 is the total MSRP with this one after all options. Let's see how it performs. Well, let us set off in the Kia K4 GT line. So I'm going to try to do these reviews a little bit more justice than I have in the past, because I feel like I haven't done a very good job to sell the point that I've been living with this car for a week. I guess a much bigger difference compared to my normal reviews, where I basically just go to a dealership and drive the car around the block and all of that. So here's what I've learned with the K4 after living with it for a week. Really nice driving experience. So it's pretty darn quiet. This isn't the fastest car on the planet. I'll give you guys an acceleration down here in just a moment, but feels quick enough, comfortable seats, lots of features, like everything that you would want in a car. And it looks really good. Like, driving this to places, it actually gets quite a bit of attention from people. You know, they're like, hey, it's a Kia, right? Why is it so fancy? But what Kia's done here is they have basically given people an entry-level luxury car. So think BMW 330i, Audi A3, Mercedes CLA, right? Entry-level luxury car, but for under $30,000. And I actually think that cars like this are destroying the luxury car market for automakers like BMW, Audi, Mercedes. Because why would you buy one of those cars? I get that they have a bit more performance, but think about this. Why would you buy one of those cars when this has more features, right? Because those cars don't even have cooled seats. And this is so much less money. It is significantly less money. And here, okay, you guys, a little acceleration. You can see, right, it does the CVT thing. You can get this with a turbo 1.6 liter that's got close to 200 horsepower, and it has an 8-speed if you want something that is less economy car-esque. But either way, I love the performance of this car. It's super impressive to me. And so I'd say, you know, in terms of my recommendation with this, who should buy this? Should you buy this? I think who should buy this is a better way to explain whether or not you should buy this. So if you are someone who wants a really good A to B car that doesn't look cheap, right? This has everything painted on the exterior, so it doesn't look cheap. The interior doesn't look or feel cheap either. Like, someone gets in this car and they, you know, again, it's got a Kia badge on it, but they don't feel like, you don't feel like you're in an economy car. This feels like, again, an entry-level luxury car. And then you want the features too. And you want something that's reasonably priced. Like, again, when I look at this car and I look at an Audi A3, BMW 3 Series, etc., etc., I would say that this is more A4 BMW 3 Series than like BMW 2 Series A3, just because of the size. This thing's a pretty big car. When I look at this and look at those, you take the badge away and this looks just as good. Like, this is seriously a good-looking car. And again, like I said, the driving experience is fantastic. So there's nothing to concede with this. It's all benefit, with my personal take. So if you're looking for that, if you're looking for entry-level luxury and you want to save yourself literally $20,000+, at least go and drive a K4. And if it feels lackluster, it feels like it's not enough and I took a wrong turn. If it feels like it's not enough performance, then literally just go and drive the turbo version. And if that feels like it's still not enough performance, go and drive the GT, the full-on crazy bad boy. And you know, at that point, it's like that's got to be enough performance, I would say, for most people. But anyways, that's the K4.